Hello everybody, this is Napa Fan here, and we are here at the Kentucky Speedway, closing in on the 20th race of the season in season number 8 of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. That's going to be tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time right here on Napa Fan. But for now, I'm going to set the starting lineup for the Tire Rack 400. 54 laps of action tomorrow night, and this is uncharted qualifying from the Kentucky Speedway. Top 2 drivers advance on to the big show, and we'll join the other 40 full-time drivers in pole qualifying right when we're done right here. But ready to get this one started. It's going to be a very interesting race here from Kentucky. There will not be any pit stops in this event, mainly because the entry to the pit lane here is very difficult, and last year we had 2 cautions due to the fact these guys were trying to come down the pit lane. So no pit stops in this race tomorrow night, but they are going to be making a lot of moves and a lot of passes on the racetrack for this race tomorrow evening. Angel Oliveira, the first driver out there on the racetrack in the number 46. The very interesting thing about Angel Oliveira is I believe he has 4 starts in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series so far this season, and 3 of those starts have been top 5 runs. They're doing a great job in the races he's been in. There's Colton Yeo in the number 98. Here's Julio Cesar in the number 10 machine with Christian Russell in the 62. Of course, Julio Cesar for Zidell Motorsports. That team got their first ever win in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series last weekend at Daytona. Congratulations to Christian Master and Justin Zidell once again on that victory last weekend. And Julio Cesar would love to get a race win for these guys. An uncharted driver is yet to win a race this season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. I believe this might be the longest we have ever gone with a uncharted driver not winning a race in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series since season number 2. So the uncharted guys have not had much success on the racetrack in victory lane at least. But like I mentioned with Angel Oliveira, he's been very solid this season. So we might see that out of one of these drivers here this weekend. There's Colton Yeo around Daniel Voiles. Voiles is beginning his first lap here. Fastest 2 guys right now are Julio Cesar and Angel Oliveira. Great runs for those drivers at the moment. There's Nick Smith to the inside of Angel Oliveira, and this is one of the flattest 1.5 miles we go to all season. But it's very wide as well, so there's a lot of room for these guys to go 4 wide and whatnot, and they can usually run around this racetrack without incident as long as they're not trying to come down the pit lane. That's when we usually get issues, when they're trying to come down the pit lane. But other than that, it's a very fun racetrack here at Kentucky, a lot better than it is in real life in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series than it is in real life Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series action, because as you can tell, we're using the old version, but these guys go so fast around here, and they slide up the racetrack and everything. Some of the best races of the year come here from Kentucky, which is why we've been coming here since season number 5. And the last uncharted guy out there on the racetrack, Stephen Thompson in the number 97, and Zachary DeLello in the 67. It's Julio Cesar and Christian Russell, the 2 fastest guys so far in uncharted qualifying from Kentucky. And they really push it around this racetrack, and you can see Christian Russell coming down the pit lane. When they're coming down the pit lane, they take a very wide angle through the corner, through turns 3 and 4 there, and then they come back down. And lots of times we had issues with these guys cutting in front of traffic. So we really don't want to see that happen in the race, which is why it's going to be a pit stop free race. They're going to make it on 1 tank of fuel. And Christian Russell, right now, the 2nd fastest driver. He's got to hope that nobody surpasses him in time, because I don't believe Russell's going to be able to get back out there and get another lap in. But it's looking pretty good for Julio Cesar and Christian Russell to make it into the Tire Rack 400 here from Kentucky. Zidell Motorsports has been doing really good as of late. Of course, like I mentioned, they got the win last weekend in the Valvoline 400 with Christian Master. And now it's looking like they're going to have their uncharted driver race his way into the big show at Kentucky. This race is usually won by veteran drivers. I believe the first one was won by John Arndt. In season number 6, it was won by Elijah Gordon. And in season number 7, this race was won by Ace Garcia, all as veterans. A rookie has never won before at Kentucky. But there's a good chance that might change tomorrow night with the way this race can go, especially considering how well Nathan Baird has been doing in the championship standings. I would not be surprised if he got a good run tomorrow night in the 20th race of the season. He comes into this thing with a 39-point lead ahead of Emily Anderson. Anderson has been closing in rather significantly in the championship as of late. But it's still looking very good for Nathan Baird in this Chick-fil-A Cup Series as a rookie driver. As a matter of fact, the top 3 drivers in points are all rookies, and we could very well see our first ever rookie champion in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series this year. Julio Cesar, fastest in uncharted qualifying. He is going to advance on with Christian Russell into the Tire Rack 400 here from Kentucky. Let's go ahead, get the other 40 full-time drivers on the racetrack, and see who wins the pole here from the Kentucky Speedway. And here we go, we're ready to set the starting lineup for tomorrow night's Tire Rack 400 from Kentucky. Like I mentioned, this race is always a wild one. Get a lot of lead changes here at this place, and it's usually anybody's game when we come here to the Kentucky Speedway. And doesn't really matter too much where you start either. You can work your way through the field here at this racetrack. Not too many places where you can do that, but this is one of them, and we could easily see the winner start from outside the top 30 tomorrow night. But either way, we're going for the pole right now. John Andrews, first driver out on the racetrack. And Andrews started out his season very well here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, but since then, since the first half of the season, he's fallen off a little bit, unfortunately, and it hasn't been the best of runs for him. But he did get a win at Talladega. He's going to be in the All-Star race 2 weeks from now. So it's going to be his first ever All-Star race in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, so we'll have to see how it all goes down for him there. But right now, the first driver out there on the racetrack. Number 62 of Christian Russell advanced in through uncharted qualifying. There's Tristan Allen in the number 3. Got Wyatt Quayle, who won at Las Vegas earlier this season. This place doesn't really have any similar racetracks to it. It's a flat racetrack, but it's a very fast one at that. Very wide, like I mentioned, in uncharted qualifying. And there really isn't any other place like it that we go to. We got this and we got Nashville coming up next. Both of these tracks are very unique. And then after the All-Star race, which is at Eldora, we go to Watkins Glen and then Rockingham, UK. So the next 5 tracks we go to on the circuit, they're all some of the most unique tracks on the circuit here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out for these guys. But it's going to be a great race nonetheless. This here is Lucas Jacobson. And this car almost won this race last year when Blaine Keys was driving it. Almost got to Ace Garcia, but could not get to him in time. And number 81, driven by Ace Garcia, was the number 92 Garcia was driving at the time that won this race last year. There is your point leader, Nathan Baird, in the number 40, 39 ahead of Emily Anderson. And this is another almost a wild card race, because like I mentioned, you can win your you can work your way through the field at this racetrack very easily, and no matter where you start, it really doesn't matter too much on where you're going to finish. But a bit of a wild card race, and Nathan Baird needs to be careful because Emily Anderson does have an opportunity at taking the points lead away from him at the end of this race. A very slim chance of that happening, but it is possible, so we got to watch out for that tomorrow night, because we could possibly be seeing a new race leader, new point leader, I should say. By the time we finish up tomorrow night in the 20th race of the season, we have Christian Master with an issue. He's coming off the pit lane here. I don't think he's gotten a full time in yet, so he's going to have to head down the pit lane and wait a little bit here. Got a lot of rookies up front. Riley Spurley is the fastest guy, followed by Wyatt Quayle, Brad Stover, Silas Orta, and Lucas Jacobson. So a lot of rookies making up the top 5. The only non-rookie is Brad Stover, the number 99. He's only in his second year of the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. There is Emily Anderson in the number 5. This team won. Technically, the number 5 team won in season number 6 here with Elijah Gordon. And she's right there with her teammate, John Art, helping him out. So they're following each other on the racetrack. And a little bit of draft does come into play here at Kentucky. We go so fast around this place, a lot faster than they do in real life, that these guys can definitely make use of the car in front of them and get their way up through the field. John Andrews went to second, but it's still Riley Spurley, who I remember won the pole at Atlanta earlier this season. He's leading the field right now. Matt Dallio's up to third in the number 79. Great run there for Dallio. Number 22 of Julius Anderson is up to the fourth position, and Wyatt Quayle is fifth. Another guy moving his way up there. I believe Ace Garcia up to seventh, last year's winner of this race. Trying to focus on him in the number 81. And there he is, defending race winner of the Tire Rack 400. Emily Anderson just went to sixth. Great run for Anderson there. She's trying to take the point lead away from Nathan Baird. Nathan Baird is currently 35th fastest. He has not been doing too well in qualifying as of late. 35th fastest here. He started 36th last week. Did manage to finish 21st, but he lost a bit of ground to Emily Anderson in the championship standings. Problem is, with Nathan Baird, he does not have anybody ahead of him on the racetrack, so he's not getting any drafting help, which does come into play. But Ace Garcia is, and Ace Garcia just went to the top of the board as the defending Kentucky race winner. Great job there by the Hamill Racing Enterprises driver. That team's only won once this year. That was with Seth Cole in Michigan. But Ace Garcia is moving his way up in the championship standings. He's coming into this thing ninth in the championship. And with that, he's got a decent shot at possibly making a run for it these final few races. A win here at Kentucky would mean a lot to Ace Garcia. He could easily put himself in the top 5 in the point standings if he were to get a race victory. That's how close they are outside the top 5. Actually, outside the top 3, really. Put it into perspective, Nathan Baird has really been doing a great job, and Emily Anderson has been doing a good job as well. But everyone behind Emily Anderson, they are pretty close on each other. Everyone from Kukulon on down, they are not off from each other by too much. I think Ace Garcia maybe about 122 points behind Nathan Baird. A bit of a stretch. That's about 3 whole races that he's got to catch up to Nathan Baird there. But Nathan Baird could have a dismal few races here, and that's all it's going to take for someone like Ace Garcia to move their way through the field and to have a shot on Baird. I mean, Baird right now 37th fastest in qualifying. Like I mentioned, the winner could easily come outside the top 30 from the starting grid, but you still don't want to start that deep at a place like this where there's going to be a lot of traffic you're going to have to contend with here. And there's always the possibility of a wreck on the racetrack as well. Another thing you have to consider, we do not have any pit stops in the race, so it could go caution-free for 54 laps with these guys on the racetrack not making any stops. So that will definitely be interesting if that becomes the case. And we might end up with a caution, but there's a very good chance that because these guys do not have to come down the pit lane, that we will go caution-free. So we'll just have to see. Of course, the truck race, I think, had 2 cautions in it, but they have slightly different physics. These guys tend to keep it together pretty well here at Kentucky, but I will not rule out a caution for possibly happening because we have it set at 110%, the highest possible strength setting here at Kentucky. So these guys are going to be giving it their all here tonight, or tomorrow night, I should say, in the Tire Rack 400. So it's Ace Garcia fastest with Riley Spurley. Wyatt Quayle in the 33 is third fastest. Then it's John Andrews, Matt Dallio, Lucas Jacobson, Julius Anderson, Daniel McMillan, Emily Anderson, and Garrett Sinor. That's the top 10. And we're following with our fastest guy, Ace Garcia, who won this race last year. That was his last win on Napa Fan, I do believe. I don't think he's won since that race last year at Kentucky, which was about 11 months ago. 11 and a half months ago. It ran in early August last year. Because this year we're lining the races up a little bit more with the real-life schedules, which is why we have Kentucky this weekend. Looking pretty good right now for Ace Garcia. I don't think anyone's going to be able to beat his time as the tires are wearing off on these guys, and you can only go so fast on worn tires here at a place like this. We got 3 guys tied right there. Roger Ray, Jesse Turner, and Seth Cole all tied for 28th at the moment. We'll have to go to the points to break all of that. Nathan Baird, I'm really surprised by this one. He is 38th fastest right now in qualifying as their points leader by 39 points, and Emily Anderson is starting inside the top 10. So there is a very, very decent chance that Emily Anderson could come within 10 points of Nathan Baird at least, or even maybe take the point lead. It's possible, but like I mentioned, the race winner could easily come outside the top 30 from the starting grid, so it's not quite over yet. Just getting the race weekend started. But Nathan Baird's going to have a lot of work to do if he wants to keep that point lead where it is or larger, because starting that deep in the field is going to be difficult to work your way to the front. But it's still very possible. We're going to see a lot of passing in the race tomorrow night. So I wouldn't be surprised if Nathan Baird found a way to win tomorrow night either. So we just don't know. That's why we race. That's why we're going to see the race tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern Time right here on Napa Fan. And it does appear that Ace Garcia is going to lead the field with the green flag. However, we did have one guy move his way up into the 3rd position. That was Julio Caesar in the number 10, who just went to 3rd there for Zidell Motorsports. A great run for him there in the number 10 machine. He's going to push some guys out of their respective positions there, so good job there by the Uncharted driver, looking to grab his first ever Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory right after his team got their first ever Chick-fil-A Cup Series race victory with Christian Master at Daytona. Master's blowing up again. This has been a disaster for Christian Master. I did not intend to rhyme that. He actually did not even get a full lap time in, so he's going to be starting in the 42nd position. Not the way you want to back up your first win in 3 years. No doubt about that, but like I mentioned, going to see these guys move their way through the field in very interesting ways, so it's going to be a fun race tomorrow night. So far, coming into this season, we've only had 2 multiple-time winners. That was Nathan Baird, who won Atlanta and Dover, and the other driver being Patrick Smith, who won Phoenix and Road America. Other than that, we have had 17 different winners in 19 races. Might be the most frequent we've ever had at this point in the season in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series, so we might see another new winner tomorrow night, especially considering a lot of the guys starting up front have yet to win this season. As a matter of fact, only one driver in the top 10 has won a race this season. That is Wyatt Quayle. Actually, 2 drivers in the top 10. But that's Wyatt Quayle and John Andrews, who have won Las Vegas and Talladega respectively. But all the other guys in the top 10 starting positions, they've yet to win this season. So we have a very good chance at there being another winner, 18th winner of the season in only 20 races. So we've been seeing a lot of different winners this season. We might see another one tomorrow night. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Take a look at the rest of the results right there. And Christian Master did not even get a full lap up to speed, but he did get a lap time in, so he will be starting in the 42nd position. Other than that, that's how they're going to line up. We also have a tie there between Turner and Cole. I don't know who's ahead in points. I'm pretty sure Seth Cole is, so Seth Cole's probably going to be starting in the 29th position. Trey Bartow and Roger Ray were tied. I'm pretty sure Trey Bartow's got the position on Roger Ray. And take a look and see if there were any more ties. Skivnicki and Patrick Smith. That's going to be a tough one. I think Patrick Smith might have it on Skivnicki. Yeah, pretty sure he does. And then Julius Anderson and Daniel McMillan tied as well, and I'm going to guess McMillan has it, but I'm not 100% sure. But other than those ties, that is how they're going to line up for tomorrow's Tire Rack 400, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on Napa Fan from the Kentucky Speedway. And don't let that word Kentucky turn you off. It is going to be a great race. Just watching the past ones we had here in the Chick-fil-A Cup Series. They've all been excellent. Thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Ace Garcia on winning the pole. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're wondering where the IndyCar Series is, they're going to be Saturday morning from Pikes Peak for the Colorado 65K and our All Drivers broadcast. We're finally going to get around to doing one of those this year. At the moment, we have it scheduled. It's going to be Alex Bonsignor, Nathan Stapleton, and Travis Crampton in the booth, but we could have more faces in there. And we can have different faces as well. But All Drivers broadcast this Saturday morning, Saturday at noon, I should say, for the Colorado 65K in the Haas IndyCar Series. So thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Ace Garcia for winning the pole. And we'll see you guys tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern for the Tire Rack 400 from Kentucky. I will see you guys later.